is it so creamy? If I want cream, I'll just buy a hand cream. What? I don't understand. Is it just meant, maybe it's meant to be a cream. Am I confused? Wait, is this supposed to be like a, no, it's not a hand cream, it's a parfum concentration. I am so confused. I'm so genuinely confused. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I am Gids, welcome, and thank you for joining me in today's video. So today I thought I would do a first impressions. I've not done a first impressions in a very long time, but it's this fragrance here. It is Dior Sauvage Eau Forte, Eau Forte, however you say it in French. And this is a water-based fragrance. It is obviously part of the ever popular flanker of Sauvage, which is a fragrance you cannot escape. This fragrance you smell everywhere. There is always a man somewhere wafting around with his sillage, just exploding everywhere. And it's this fragrance here, Sauvage, powerhouse fragrance. I'm sure it's a bestseller for Dior. Of course it is, because you smell it everywhere. And I thought, this is interesting. They've got a water-based version of the fragrance. What will it smell like? I got this sample. I went in to check it out, and I was in such a rush that the sales associate said, let me give you a sample of the fragrance. I'll show you the one that I have. I did actually used to own Sauvage many years ago, but I don't own it anymore. I've moved on. It's not for me. I'm not saying it's a bad fragrance. It's just not for me personally. Now, this is the version that I have. This is the elixir, more spicy, richer, deeper. There's some licorice in this, spices like cardamom. It's a really powerful fragrance and with lots of depth and spices, and it still has the nice lavender which Sauvage is known for. So I'm gonna do a spray on the card and a spray on my skin, and then I'm gonna just compare and contrast between the two and describe the fragrance. Okay, so so can you guys see? This is completely water-based, meaning there is no alcohol, but it comes out quite milky, which is interesting. Wow, this is actually really different to what I thought the fragrance would actually smell like. Okay, I'm almost confused if okay, let me still spray it on the card. Okay, so I've sprayed it on the card. It's also a bit milky, but it's dried down a little bit more. Wow, this is actually, this is very green and very plant-like, first of all, for a Sauvage. I am not getting any of the classic DNA of Sauvage. Like, you know, when you smell Sauvage, there's two things for me about Sauvage. It's the lavender and also the ambroxan in that fragrance. Sauvage is a huge fragrance. The sillage and the centrale on Sauvage, especially the eau de toilette and the eau de parfum, is massive. Even the parfum leaves a trail, but I think the EDP and the EDT leave the biggest trails with this fragrance. I don't recognize this at all. I get they're trying to do something different, and the perfumer behind this is Francis Cartejean. He's a very iconic and well-renowned perfumer. However, this is a bit of a weird opening for me. I was not expecting this at all. Now, the notes in this fragrance, I've got them here. The top notes are elemi resin and spices. Middle note is lavender. Base notes are musk and woody notes. And the idea behind this fragrance is, so Sauvage Eau Forte by Dior is a fresh and spicy fougere fragrance. This innovative scent features an alcohol-free formula blending cold spices, bleached lavender, and musky woods. The fragrance is inspired by the symbolic power of water, creating a highly concentrated and milky colored eau. Interesting. Okay, so I guess their interpretation was to make it quite milky. I mean, can you see how it comes out? This is really interesting. So you're supposed to just, rub it into your skin and then just, I mean, listen, not everybody wants fragrances which contain alcohol, right? Some people have skin sensitivity. Some people don't like spraying alcohol on the neck. Me personally, I have stopped spraying alcohol on the neck area. The skin on the neck is a lot thinner than the skin on other parts of your body. So you will see and experience aging more on the neck before other parts of the body. And once the neck starts aging, there's nothing you can do. So you don't want to cause that to happen sooner than it needs to. So I do not spray alcohol directly on my neck. I usually spray it more up here behind the ears and at the back, right at the nape of the neck. I don't spray it on this particular area. But this is interesting. It's an interesting concept. Like I said, not everybody wants to wear fragrances that contain alcohol. Some people have got skin allergies and skin sensitivity. So this is quite clever. However, I don't think the execution of this is the best. Having something as milky as this, you know, you have to sort of rub it into your skin. And I don't really know if you're gonna necessarily get a fragrance which is gonna project as much as the original versions of this fragrance. They've also taken away the ambroxan from this fragrance from what I can see. So what I'm really smelling is something still green, something quite dry and dusty and almost smells a bit dirty in a way. I'm gonna be really honest, it's not terrible, but it doesn't smell nice. This is not a particularly nice smelling fragrance. It smells interesting. It smells very interesting, but it's, for the price of this fragrance, I think it's over 100 and something pounds. I mean, it's a Dior fragrance, of course it would be, but it doesn't smell fresh, as they say. It doesn't smell to me bright. It's quite dry. It smells very earthy, but in a dirty way. And it also smells quite plasticky. I don't know, on skin, it just doesn't, it almost smells off. This isn't to me very pleasant at all. It's not a pleasant wearing experience. I don't like this fragrance. It's way too dry. It's way too dirty smelling and earthy and green, but not in a fresh way. To me, this doesn't give me a fresh scent. It smells better on card than on skin. On skin, it smells awful. That smells awful. That's absolutely awful. Way better on card. It smells more green and it almost smells like you're walking maybe through a rainforest, something more fresh. But on skin, I get none of that. On skin, I get a very plastic, dry, off, peculiar smell. It's very, very weird. I don't know what Dior were trying to do with this one. Well, I know they were trying to create something water-based, but I just don't think this was executed very well, which is a shame. This is a flop right here. I'm sorry, Francis Kirk de Jean. I know you probably worked hard on this. Well, questionable, but this is terrible. I'm sorry, it's terrible. I know people will say, oh no, it is fresh, what are you talking about? Or it's a great, I mean, yes, if you were trying to create something different, but the problem is Dior Sauvage is such a popular mainstream fragrance. Why have you not tied those elements which made it so popular within this? I know you want it to be alcohol free, so the ambroxan is gone, but it just feels like it's not a Sauvage. It does not smell like Sauvage. Like if I was a hardcore OG Sauvage fan and I blind bought this fragrance, I would be so disappointed because this is awful. It's better on card, I can't lie. On card, it's not actually that bad, but on my skin, I'm definitely gonna wash this off. This is awful. On skin, it's terrible. Yeah, that's not nice. That's really not pleasant at all. I mean, and they've said here, like a waterfall, Sauvage Eau Forte delivers freshness and intensity. An aqueous formula mixes with a fragrant, oily formula to create this highly concentrated eau with a milky hue. I would just say, if you have a sensitivity to alcohol-based fragrances, maybe go for something more oil-based, like more of the Middle Eastern style of perfumes. And it doesn't have to be an oud or something really loud. There are lots of lovely oil-based fragrances which are going to be long-lasting and really pleasant, and you can get something more fresh, warm, woody. You can get anything when it comes to oil-based fragrances. There are so many brands that do oil-based fragrances. But this is really just awful. And this is a parfum concentration. I suspect this is going to sit closer to the skin. It will create more of a soft, intimate bubble rather than something loud and something that will project. I mean, the fact that when you spray it on, you have to slightly rub it into your skin, you know, that almost suggests that. I just think it's a shame. I think they could have done something more interesting with this, because the idea of a water-based version of Sauvage would have been really interesting if they had still managed to tie in more of the elements of the original fragrance. Anyway, I'm so sorry to sound really negative. I just like to be honest and keep it real. I don't like the way that this smells. I think it's awful. I think they could have done something earthy, green, fresh with the citruses, but this is weird. And why did it have to be milky? Why? Why'd you have to do something milky? Because men just want to quickly spray and go. So you're going to spray this milky residue all over yourself, and this is so poorly executed on the part of Dior. And I get the vibe that Francis Kirk de Jean is going more in the direction of trying to create these fresher, lighter, aquatic, bright fragrances. I feel that's his style, and obviously he's the head perfumer at Dior, so I don't know, we shall see what else he does. Anyway, that was my review of Sauvage Eau Forte Parfum from Dior. What did you guys think of this? If you tried it, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course, please give me a big thumbs up. Leave me some comments down below, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care.